Hi guys, we're gonna talk about meditation today. Wee, so pretty, so good. It's this is all we do here. We go walk around and we meditate. We have spots, we meditate. Why why do we talk about meditation? Okay. What is this about? What's this about? Why meditate? Because we live in this world right now that we need to learn to do this more than ever. Technology has sped up our life. We are all buried in our phones. The way we interact with people, with information, with the environment is affecting us. It's affecting our stress levels and our health. And our confidence is super low because we are constantly made to feel like something is wrong, something is missing. We are not enough, okay? We need to buy this stupid face cream, right? That's gonna fix your face. Spend $7,000 on this red light machine, okay? You're gonna have a thigh gap on your body, and then you'll have a perfect boyfriend, okay? You're gonna read this book and you're gonna be successful, right? Hold on one second, there's somebody here. Hold on. All right, so we're back. That was a dog. This is a nice dog. So basically we've just been told a story that you're not happy until you do this or that. We have lost our power and we don't have a real purpose, and religion is gone, because religion throughout many hundreds of years before, thousands of years, have given people a sense or their place in a universe. The question of purpose wasn't even an issue because everything was in context according to their religious beliefs, right? I asked my amazing therapist, Dr. Thorne, hi Dr. Thorne, what's up with this QAnon bullshit? And this is what he said. He said, Claudia, people are wired for connection. We want to be part of a tribe. We need to belong somewhere. And the more outrageous the belief or thing that we believe in, the more connected we are, right? So means that if you have like the example he gave, he said, if you believe that a virgin has a baby, right? That's crazy. But if you believe that and I believe that and we both believe that, we're connected so much more. Think about it, right? This is why we have these conspiracy theories. This is why QAnon has happened, right? You believe that the earth is flat, I agree, then oh my God, me and you are so much better than these other stupid losers that don't know shit, right? We together have the power and this ability to understand things that other people don't. And that's really powerful, right? Because what happens is that we become really obsessed with our purpose, and our brain gets to the point where it becomes like it wants more of that, right? These people are online all the time, constantly. So you want more and more just to feel normal, like drugs or alcohol or sex or food or TikTok. It's unhealthy. You know what? And it becomes like an addiction. The more you want, the more you're gonna want. We are obsessed with this idea that happiness comes from the outside. So what I'm trying to say is this: the purpose that we are looking for is internal, not external. It's something deeper within you, okay? And if you don't know to access it, the best thing to do it is by meditation. Our parents never taught us to do this. Our school never taught us to do this. With learning to meditate, you become like your own purpose. You become the generator of your own experiences. You learn to take a hold of your mind and not be at the receiving end of life, okay? Meditation is easier than than you think, right? It's more applicable to daily situations than you think. In 2011, USA, America, ranked 11th place on the global happiness scale. Now, in 2025, we are in a 24th place and dropping fast. Let's not talk about suicide stats because they're so alarming. Why? Something is going on here. I don't know what it is. I grew up in Romania with no food, right? Every day was a struggle for survival. See that talk on the family, how family calls you lazy. You'll get an understanding of how horrific the situation was. I share a lot in that talk. I always have that in the back of my mind, right? The neglect, the abuse, the abandonment. I was never suicidal, right? But I look around and I understand that America is losing at being the best country in the world. We have developed the most material, comfortable culture in history. We are materially more comfortable than anybody. Yet, emotionally, we're like messed up. We're like super uncomfortable. Prozac has increased 400% since introduction in its 90s. So something doesn't add up here. What's going on? Right? It has to do with how your brain works and how the mechanisms of desire work in your brain. We're promised the next piece of enjoyment, the next hit, the next buzz, the next thing. And this is like a vicious cycle of wanting more. Like searching all the time but searching is like a habit in itself, and it leads to more searching, right? That's why on your phone, once we get what we want, we look for something else. We end up with a lot of bullshit, with a lot of stuff, but not feeling full. What is this for? Once you're my age and you don't have a lot of time left, you look back and ask yourself the same question. What is this for? I can't believe I'm so far through this life and there's so little left. I just can't believe this doesn't go on forever. You're young now and you have plenty of time, so you think, but you'll see, it doesn't go on forever. We're told something is missing all the time because this marketing, consumerism, capitalist society is doing this to us. One of the things that blew my mind when I first came to America was all the billboards and commercials that I saw. We didn't have all this stuff in Romania. You know, there was one kind of soap, one kind of toothpaste. The government owned everything, right? As communists. And the only thing the only factory that we had one factory. Like one factory was making toys, shoes. We didn't have all this bullshit, okay? There was no marketing that was feeding us like through phones and, you know, these kids get phones at like 3 or 4. That's insane. It's going to affect all of us, right? The chemistry of our bodies in this pursuit of dopamine, it's chemical, right? I have a dopamine tattoo right here. I can see it, like, you know. So I remind myself, you know, I listen. You want to learn about how this dopamine stuff happens? Read this amazing book, Dopamine Nation. It made me understand why I'm doing the stupid shit that I'm doing, okay? Dopamine falls away just before you get what you want, right before. It's higher in the pursuit of whatever you're pursuing, but as soon as you get it, it dissipates immediately. Your favorite food, let's say bacon. You think about it, you get the dopamine, now you're going to drive to the store and get some more, and you're cooking it, you have lots of dopamine, and right before you bite into your this way, baby, this way, honey, come on, this way, we're gonna go this way. Like, yeah, we're not gonna go that way because you were injured, he's injured. So right before you bite into the bacon, the dopamine dissipates, okay? It's gone. This anticipation is gone. So the dopamine is gone. Same thing with sex. Same thing with drugs. Same thing with everything. Vacations, everything that makes you feel like, oh my God, like this is, I have to pursue this. So the chase is much more exciting than the having or the getting. So we are locked into this constant chase. When will I get the next hit? When would I get the next stuff? Because now it's boring. It's always boring. What happens next? I'm so boring, so bored. The reason why we feel so empty and bored and disappointed is that we never get enough. Our brain thinks it's never enough. So meditation teaches you that what you're looking for is right here inside of you, okay? How does it feel when you want something and you already got it? It's a relief, right? Think about hunger. You're hungry, you cook the bacon, and now the hunger is gone. It's monetarily. It's momentarily, okay? Because you'll feel hungry again, right? So what we're really looking for is the absence of wanting. Meditation teaches you the freedom from wanting. The focus needs to change from material things to the mind. A lot of things happen in our childhood, and we didn't know how to deal with the trauma or the difficulties of life. And we do unhealthy stuff, okay? We bottle things inside. We're not looking at things and always pushing forward. So, what do you think will happen when you don't have the skills to look at your life and ask yourself, why is this happening to me? Life will slap you in the face, and now you're in jail, you're doing drugs, your wife is leaving you. I have physical issues and I can't walk outside. Yeah, it happens really, really fast. It's like overnight. The buildup is progressive, but your brain doesn't know it. You avoid that. You think you can get away with it because you're special, because you're young, right? Because you have time. It catches up really fast, okay? And once that happens, it's really hard to turn it around. Trust me, I know. I know people in their 60s and 70s, they're still working on getting their shit together from whatever messiness that happened decades ago. Yeah. You think that's not you. You have it all together. You'll have all the time in the world to do the right thing. But look around you. What these successful people know is that they take care of their mental health. They protect their energy so they can move forward and not get stuck, okay? Everything you do leaves an imprint, and everybody that you come in contact with will have an impact energetically. And if you're like me, you get really good at suppressing your suffering. You get really good at pushing things down and trying not to suffer, right? But a volcano will erupt, and this pressure that leads to a backlash inside yourself, right? And you'll have like body pain. There's this amazing book called The Body Keeps the Score. And we'll unpack it later. But what that book taught me is that if you don't pay attention to what's happening inside yourself, the body will make you aware of it eventually. It might take years, but eventually will. Get that book and get familiar with why you have these headaches, muscle aches, why your mood is not stable, up and down, why you're anxious or depressed, why you yell at people. Learn to meditate, and all those issues are gonna be solved. Trust me on that. Yeah, nobody told me. I had to learn it on my own. Okay, my family believes that meditation is some wooey-wowie crap. Okay, it's all bullshit. Okay, they never learn to breathe and how to control their own emotions or their nervous system, or the body, really. Once you learn this, it's a game changer. Breathing exercises are taught in all the armed forces to deal with stress, with tough things. The medical, it's breathing exercises are taught in medical schools. Okay, all the kids that have any sports learn this. Basically, all the coaches out there are practicing meditation, and this is wowie wowie. You know, your parents are making fun of it. Like when you start meditating, it's gonna be a lot of dedication and sacrifice, but if you're serious, you'll see the results and you'll really understand what's going on. There's a lot of mosquitoes here. You start to experiment with what happens when you don't immediately run after your desire. You start to experiment with not suppress your desire, because that's incredibly unhealthy, but watch your desires and observe it and find out that you are more than your desires. You work with it and learn ways to transform it rather than just give in to it or suppress it, because suppressing it, no good. When you suppress your desire, it's like you're locked in a cage and you feel powerless. This is why you want to learn to meditate, because it's not enough to tell yourself you're not gonna drink, right? What happens to the mind that is addicted to the behavior? How are you going to fill the hole inside yourself? With meditation, you don't give up anything. You just learn to fill your own spirit with more positive thoughts, with love. We are addicted to our own thoughts, right? That's the root of all of it. A wanting thought arises in our minds, and then we jump on it and we want to get something to alleviate whatever pain we have. So it's like an internal attachment that we need to pay attention to. We are attached to our thoughts and our emotions, and when they get into the driving seat, they send our lives in all kinds of directions that we don't want. Look at him. He does this all the time. Whenever we get on this bench, he does this thing because I taught him to do that since he was a baby. Look how good he is. Oh my God, you're such a good baby. Listen, when you let this emotions and these thoughts like drive you to do shit because you don't know how to control it, it's gonna mess up your life, right? Like, I hated meditation when I first started. I struggled a lot, okay? Because in the beginning, I thought meditation was about clearing your mind. It's a long journey for me. Like, I bought my first book in the 90s, like in 1990. What I know now is that it's not about clearing your mind. It's about working with your mind. It's about learning to be less controlled by your mind. You're not suppressing your thoughts. It's about changing your relationship with your thoughts, okay? There's so many people that can teach you. I'm obsessed with this girl, Jatsuma Tenzin Palo. I love her. But if you're interested, I can guide you through some amazing resources. With that, don't lie, don't cheat, don't steal, don't cheat, and don't kill any insects today. Mwah, 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 mwah.